Welcome to My Daily Thread. It's a great little place to get a snippet of wisdom from the yoga and the meditation masters to start or to end your day. I'm Jeff Lichty. All right, my friends, welcome back to the show. I am all aglow back from San Pancho and our yoga retreat at Casa Ziggy with my wonderful co-host Andrea Ziegler, who you got introduced to a couple weeks ago on the show. We had a wonderful time, and I have to give you advance warning. Those of you that couldn't make it this time, this thing was amazing. And next year, we have been invited back by the Zigster for a February San Pancho. Start marking it up in your calendars because it was a wonderful time. I'll try and post some stuff on social media. You all know how that goes for me. But anyways, as we move on, now we are back into the cold temperatures from plus 27 to minus 25. That was a bit of a shocker, I gotta say. So in my self-study and my tapas, there was no generating heat. It was the generating the heat in my mind at being back at a minus 25. Let's get back to work, though. Wisdom from the Sutras of Patañjali. We are on the second chapter, verse 1. Tapas Svādyāya Ishvara Pranidhana. We've talked about tapas, this generation of heat from a sturdy self-discipline, not self-torture. We started into Svādhyāya yesterday with a little bit of a look into this idea of self-study and what that really means. Now, I want you to remember that the study of the self is part of this thing called Kriyā Yoga, Kriya in the act of life. But it's also part of the Niyamas, which we're going to get to later in this chapter. So it is mentioned not just once, but multiple times in the sutras. And when something in the Yoga Sūtras of Patañjali are mentioned multiple times, I take note of that because Patañjali doesn't waste too many words. He only has 196 point form statements that he gives us in order to really give us a sense of what was going on in the yoga world back in 200 CE or thereabouts. But remember, let's go to this concept of Svadyaya. Svadyaya, it's this idea of self-reflection and trying to cultivate an inner awareness. Now, there's this idea traditionally that involves reading scriptures like the Vedas, the Bhagavad Gita. If you're from Christendom, it could be the Bible, it could be the Torah, it could be any of the classic scriptures from religious history. And so that is all in order to gain spiritual wisdom. And I mean, of course, from the modern world, we could be looking at philosophy and psychological books, spiritual books, self-help books, self-development books, whatever you wanted it to be. Anything that's going to inspire this sense of self-inquiry. Now, I don't believe you necessarily have to read spiritual books in order to develop that, but the idea is that with Svādhyāya, whatever we're reading, whatever we're encountering in our world is giving us a moment to pause, and it's giving us a little bit of time for self-reflection. It becomes the mirror of our experience. We look into whatever the scripture is, we look into whatever we're reading, we look into whatever it is we're studying, and we see that text, that experience, that moment to be something that can be reflected back to us in order to help us grow. And this is the idea. And so this idea of self-reflection and cultivating inner awareness and our inner experience is really, to me, the most remarkable journey that we can cultivate in our lives. And I think that is what we're starting with here in the sutras. Now, we'll dip a bit more into this tomorrow when we talk about Svadyaya, but just for today, just consider any experience that comes to you. Anything at all. And I have to credit Ziggy for this. She offered up a whole philosophy in this offhand statement. Let's see what the world presents. Isn't that a lovely way to develop Svādhyāya? What is being presented to you today, and how can that be reflected back into your existence, into the way that you're enjoying your life experience? But more on this tomorrow. And until then, as always, thanks for listening. Om. Peace out. And our post-show note, would you do me a favor? Would you share this podcast with someone else? Would you make someone else's day just a little bit better? Be of service. Peace out.